is like our reality, but it functions on a higher frequency. It's not about being in a different place physically, but embodying a new level of frequency. Your body, mind, and emotions start to vibrate at a higher velocity. Thus, your being can accommodate more light. As you move to the fifth dimension, one of the things is that your energy body will restructure itself completely. I know that this may be more challenging to spot, but you'll definitely feel it as the restructuring will be coming to completion. We clear out the cellular memories and remove the old energy templates that no longer serve them. It's like getting an upgrade to your system. Many of you will first notice that you need to clear out stress from your system and also address the stress that you've carried since childhood.
Yes.
You'll also notice many old patterns being more obvious, so you can start releasing them from your system. Another fifth dimension sign is that you become more sensitive to vibrations. You can read people's true feelings better. You'll also prefer staying in environments with lighter energy. You also realize that your energy is your most valuable currency, and that it's not optional anymore to take care of yourself. Energy hygiene will become your priority. As you're shifting to the fifth dimension, you experience more soul-based connections with people. You meet more people who are part of your soul's family, and there will be instant mutual recognition. Your relationships will become equal and also more honest, as you'll feel like you don't want to be hiding your true self anymore.
Exactly.
It becomes harder to act out of alignment with your inner truth. As your consciousness expands, you become, sometimes more than you wish, aware of what your heart is guiding you to do. What's more, your inner peace will become your new norm and also your priority.
Yes.
As the emotional body slowly heals old wounds, it becomes more stable, and your moods together with it. The next fifth dimension sign is that you realize that you can't save everyone. You'll learn to respect the decisions of others, even though you may feel like you have the tools to help them. This comes back to respecting the free will, one of the building blocks of this universe. The only help that works is the one where the energy is exchanged equally. If the other person resists your energy, your help, it doesn't serve them, and it only drains you.
Yes.
As you become more connected with your higher self, you'll realize that other people choose their lessons at the soul level.
Yes.
Instead of being worried about them, you send them love and hold a space for them and trust their own timing. As you're transitioning to the fifth dimension, you experience a lot of energy cleansing. This is conducted in the union with your lower and higher self. Clearing out your own energy will help you to step into your inner power. You'll be able to think clearly, and you'll feel lighter. A big part of the shift to the fifth dimension has to do with your frequency, energy, inner light, and true essence. You, as a being who has chosen to make this transition at this point, will feel like you need to carry others with you. You have to know that you have the light within you, but sometimes it feels like you have to shine. This will change as you embody more of your soul's energy. You'll want to shine because when you do, you're in your true frequency. So there won't be so much of must, but rather you'll experience joy while allowing yourself to be your true self.
Yes.
As your emotional and mental bodies cleanse, you realize the importance of being proactive and working on your energy before it gets out of balance. Your inner guidance will guide you to the best ways to get yourself in the flow and adjust your energy without going to extremes. One of the clear signs of stepping into the fifth dimension and higher is that your way of thinking shifts. You may not even recognize your old self anymore. Your mind becomes clearer, and you can see through the ego illusions.
Yes.
Eventually, you'll experience more lightness and space within your consciousness, and your mind will become more stable and calmer. The more you shift to the fifth dimension frequency, the more you're rooted in the present moment. You're more accepting of your circumstances and your past. You see your life from a higher, more expanded consciousness that will help you to accept yourself and others. All the above fifth dimension signs will happen gradually, depending on your soul's chosen program of ascension. At this point, you may resonate with some of the signs while not with others. Just by being attracted to this video, you are transitioning to the fifth dimension.
Is it possible that the place you go to when you sleep is the same place you go to when you die? You might be amazed to find out how similar these two places are. So let's discuss this fascinating topic. So when you go to sleep at night, your consciousness does not. In fact, your consciousness often describes this waking physical life as the rest period. Because when you sleep, it goes to work. Where does it go? It goes to the dream world. What does it do there? Well, besides a little R&R and adventuring, it does a lot of work. It goes to a place called sleeper school, which has been verified by several out-of-body explorers and people that study the dream world, that there is this school type experience that you go there and you go to a classroom setting and you go to the same one, you have teachers and everything, and you're learning and constantly game planning and running simulations and preparing for this physical life. But when you wake up in the morning, you don't remember any of this. You might have some little flashes, and sometimes you even feel exhausted. You'll be like, oh my God, I don't know what happened in my dream last night, but I am whooped. I know it happens to me all the time. Has it ever happened to you where you wake up and you're just like, I don't know what I did, but that was intense, right? So you're doing stuff in your dream. Then you wake up and it starts to fade away. Even if you remember parts of it, after a few hours, few days, it's gone. Well, let's think about what happens when you die. This has been studied extensively by, people that study near-death experiences and the life between lives. We know that your consciousness doesn't die when your physical body does. It continues on. Where does it go? It goes to the spirit world. What does it do there? Same thing it does in the dream world. A little R&R, a little adventuring, and a lot of learning, a lot of game planning. It meets with council of elders and it meets with your spirit guides and your higher self, and it learns from the past incarnation what it can do better. It plans out the next sojourn, right? It's constantly running simulations and game planning and learning, right? It's the same thing you do in sleeper school. You do whenever you're in the spirit world. And then whenever you do come into another incarnation, you forget all that, right? There's a lot of evidence of like children, 3, 4, 5 years old that remember past lives. They can even tell you in detail who they were, where they were, that kind of stuff. But then it starts to fade. Yep. The same way our dreams fade after a few hours or a few days, your past lives in the spirit world fades after a few years. So you can see the similarities. Now, the biggest difference I see is that the access in these realms, like whenever you go to sleep, and when you astral travel or out-of-body explore, you have this silver cord that's always connecting you to your physical body. That's why you can always come back. You don't get lost, okay? But when your physical body dies, that silver cord is severed. So then you have greater access. Because when you're in the dream world, you're still focused in this incarnation, okay? Most of your planning and game planning and simulations and learning has to do with this life here. You're focused on this life. Whenever this physical body's gone, and that silver cord is severed, you have more access in the spirit world because you're no longer focused on this life. You're focused on all your lives, your next life, your soul family, all sorts of things going on. So I do think that you go to the same place. You just have different levels of access and maybe different restrictions and things of that nature. I think that's the biggest difference. And then the obvious biggest difference is when you wake up from going to sleep, you wake up in the same body. But whenever you die, you wake up in a new body. And that might be the most profound difference between the two. But other than that, they're very similar, remarkably similar. And there's a very good chance, the more I study it, the more I'm starting to think that the spirit world and the dream world are the same place, just with different access and purpose.